Are you looking for a way to bring more peace and clarity into your life? Well, maybe you should consider mindful living. But what exactly is mindful living? It's not some like woo-woo thing. It is basically, at its more simple level of understanding, it's being present and being fully engaged in the moment. This isn't super complicated. This is something that can be achieved and can help you to live a richer and more fulfilling life. How can it do that? Well, first of all, maybe start off by subscribing to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Romina, and we like to have conversations where we talk about self-actualizing and reaching our full potential and all of those amazing things that, of course, everybody wants to do, right? Right? Mindfulness can lead to reduced anxiety, reduced stress. It can help you with your focus, which of course is amazing because I know that you are probably working on a business or maybe school, or maybe you are improving your career, your life or something. You're ambitious. I know that you are because you're watching this video. And having improved focus can help you to reach those levels of success that you want, and you want to go to the next step. Being more mindful can help you to build up greater emotional resilience, which means having less emotional outbursts, a little bit less road rage. I mean, I can't promise that, but hopefully it can help you to process your emotions better so that you aren't really just attacking people. I think we can all agree that having less of those emotional outbursts is good, not just for you, but also for me and for everybody else that is around you. I used to have emotional outbursts. I used to be angry. I used to be sad and frustrated. I had a lot of things in my life that happened to me that were outside of my control, but the way that I reacted to them, I had full control over, but I allowed myself to not have control. And so because of it, it led me down a road that was full of negativity and frustration and stress. And it was so hard for me to focus on tasks and the things that I wanted to get done every day and in my life. My life wasn't fulfilled. Even when I was seeing success in certain areas of my life and I was achieving my goals, I still was feeling unfulfilled and unsatisfied. These are all reasons for why it's so important to practice mindfulness. And the thing is that mindfulness is not just something that you are born with, but it is a skill that you can polish, and it is a skill that you can sharpen. So how exactly can you sharpen this mindfulness tool? Meditation is not the only way that you can achieve a heightened sense of mindfulness day to day. You can practice mindfulness throughout your day in more subtle ways. And some of the ways that you can do that is by practicing mindful breathing. I often do this throughout the day. Sometimes I do it while I'm driving. Sometimes I do it when I'm just sitting at my desk working. Sometimes I take dedicated pockets of time where I don't do anything else but breathe. And I focus on my breath. And to kind of break it down a little bit further, I think about the breath going into my nose and then coming into my lungs and then filling up my lungs to max capacity. I hold it and then I let it out very slowly. Usually I do it through the mouth. So, right, I just do it very, very slow. And so the point of this is to focus on the breath coming in and every step of the way and being mindful of that. It can really help to strengthen that muscle of mindfulness. And of course, you're breathing anyway, right? You got to do that to stay alive. So you might as well take advantage of that. Another thing that you can do, which I personally love because I'm a huge foodie and I love food, it is eating. When you mindfully eat, you practice eating slowly and enjoying every single bite of your food. You focus on the textures, the smell, the taste, and really take your time. So I heard once before that you should chew your food 100 times before you swallow. I don't know if you should really take that literally, but it's more the thought of consuming slowly so that you really enjoy before you completely consume your meal. I think this little practice can help because, again, you're probably eating a few times a day. So maybe the next time that you eat, take a moment to practice mindfulness. And maybe before you even start eating, you can take a few seconds to think about your food and how it got in front of you. Did you cook it? Did somebody else cook it? Maybe the process of getting those ingredients onto your plates, the harvesting of the vegetables that are in your food. These are all things that you can think about just for a few seconds before you take your first bite. I love it because I think there's so much variety and diversity in that practice. And the reward is instant, right? Because you get the food right away. So I have a healthy relationship with food. So if you do too, then maybe this is something that will be helpful in growing your mindfulness muscle. The next thing is walking. The next time that you go out for a stroll, think about all of the things that are going on around you. Focus on every step that you take. What does the ground feel like under your shoes or under your feet if you're barefoot? Are there leaves on the ground? Can you hear the wind? Can you hear the sounds of cars, of children laughing, of a dog barking, a cat, or like what do you hear and what do you smell, what do you see, or any of the senses that you have available to you? Focus on all of those things in the most non-judgmental way possible. So if there's something that irritates you, accept that that thing exists and observe it, notice it, and let it exist, and continue to focus on your walking. This practice can help to ground you. It can help you to be more present in your day-to-day life, because remember that these practices, it's not necessarily that you're doing it every time that you walk or eat or breathe, but more so when you remember to do these activities, you're becoming more resilient and you're becoming more self-aware and being able to practice mindfulness in a way that can become integrated in your everyday life. So it will eventually become intuitive and you won't even realize that you're doing it because it's just going to be a part of who you are. So the goal here is to turn it into more of a lifestyle and a part of who you are, as opposed to a chore that you have to do every day. In terms of meditation, I find that one of the meditations that really helps me is a body scan meditation. And what you do during this meditation is you focus on specific parts of your body and you travel through your body focusing on each part. For example, if you start at your feet, you start at the toes, the soles of your feet, your ankles, your calves, you go up to your knees and your thighs, and then you just keep going up until you reach to the top of your head. You can also do it backwards too, or you start wherever you want. The idea is that you focus on that part of your body and release whatever tension or pressure you have in a specific part of your body. And so by focusing on a specific part, you've reduced the amount that you have to focus on, because now it's not your whole body, because your whole body When you are tensed and you're stressed, you're feeling it everywhere, even if it only hurts on your lower back or, your wrists or whatever. It's that pain or that tension is going to travel all over your body. And so by focusing on little pieces of your body, then little sections of your body, then you're able to practice that focus, retention, being able to focus, being present, and ultimately reaching a full sense of relaxation in your entire body once you've completed the body scan meditation. So I really like that meditation. Of course, there's a bunch of different types of meditation, but I find that that one really helps me a lot, especially because I have ADD, and so forcing myself to focus on a very small section instead of a large thing is very helpful for me. If you're a writer, then maybe this next one's for you, which is journaling, of course. And this doesn't have to be some extravagant activity that you partake in. You could really just spend time writing every morning, or maybe just thinking about your day at the end of the day. Just finding something that works for you so that you can get your thoughts out every day and your feelings. This sort of practice can help you on your road to mindfulness because it can help you to regulate your thoughts and your feelings because you're aware of where you are emotionally and what you're thinking about and what's worrying you. And again, that leads to self-awareness. And that self-awareness is what makes you mindful and what allows you to be present day to day. As you're practicing mindfulness, you'll find that you want your environment to match your new state, your heightened state of presence. And so some of the things that you can do to help you create a mindful environment are by decluttering. This is why I took on minimalism, to help me focus on the things that really matter to me and not the clutter of things around me. Having things like a quiet space or a safe space, somewhere that you can go to meditate or journal or do whatever you want to do. Like if you're walking, maybe you know of a park or a specific area that you enjoy and that brings you peace. Knowing what your mindful environments are can help you to make it easier to practice mindfulness. Remember that you can start small and build up with your practice. You can do one of the things that I mentioned in this video or all of the things. And if you have a meditation room, that's amazing. If you have a corner in your room that you can just sit in and journal, that's also amazing. Whatever you have accessible to you, make it work for you. And remember that you can build up. This is something that you upgrade over time and that you find what works for you and what is best for you. Remember, above all is to practice self-compassion and to be non-judgmental with this whole process, because that is the key to mindfulness, is to not focus on the things that are bothering you or the things that are wrong, but rather acknowledging the fact that things exist and controlling your reactions and your feelings and your thoughts towards the things around you. Because ultimately what you have control over is yourself. And again, the process of improving yourself, reaching your potential, having that growth that you want, all of that is attained through a process that can take time and that requires patience. So don't be mean to yourself. You have 100% got this because you are watching this video. And sure, mindfulness can bring you peace and it can bring you fulfillment and all of these things, but just starting to practice today will help you on that path. So you don't have to, there's not a maximum level that you need to reach in order to feel peace and calm and clarity and all of the benefits that I mentioned in this video. As long as you start taking on this journey, you're going to start seeing the benefits over time. There's no end to this journey. There's no top to this mountain. It is a consistent journey that is unique for you and that is always going to be evolving and growing alongside you. So try one of the exercises that I mentioned in this video, see how it affected you or it influenced your day or your sleep, or if it positively impacted you in any way. And let me know in the comments what your experience is after doing one of these exercises. And if you enjoyed this video, then please give me a thumbs up and watch this other video where I talk to you about minimalism and how it changed my life and how it can potentially change yours as well. All right, I will see you when I see you.